Hello, hello, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Cinderella phenomenon. So, yesterday, or rather last episode, we had to get saved by Karma, and Karma kissed Lucette's hand, and now she can't stop thinking about it. But yeah, things are moving forward in a positive direction, and it's great. It's fantastic even. So, they all turn to look at me as I stand at the table. Karma still looks tired, and he's not in his dress. He looks somber, but still smiles at me. Lucette, how nice of you to join us. When did he start saying my name without my title? Since last night, when he kissed your hand. When you said that you were similar. Lucette, you've run into a lot of different mishaps this week, haven't you? Like going outside on your own, despite me telling you specifically not to go without an escort. Isn't that right, Lucette? Isn't it? I thought you would be stubbornly avoiding work. Instead, you go out of your way to get yourself into trouble. This involves me directly. How could I not be curious? You've also been irresponsible, sneaking out without any of us knowing. I have the freedom to do whatever I want to. I even wore a cloak to... Oh no, the cloak. I left it at the bar. I feel a nudge at my arm, and Karma is holding out my cloak with a tired smile. Oh. You went back to get this? When? Yesterday, when you were still in bed. You've been running yourself dry these last few days, Karma. It's nothing. Thank you. What's this? Our ice princess is thanking someone? Good heavens! Why is that something so strange? You learned it only a few weeks ago. Oh, come now, she's not so icy. Lucette has more fire than anything. She's filled with unbridled passion and confidence. Confidence that has gotten me nowhere so far. Don't look so dour, Lucette. You've become quite the accomplished woman. Karma gestures toward me and I flush, unsure of what he's talking about. Then I notice Delora's eyes are on me too. Did you get the first piece? Because you helped Karma last time? Did you get the first piece? Oh, parfait! Do you see that? What are they looking at? I reach down to grab my necklace and then pause. I cannot stop the gasp that leaves my lips. She did. She got the first piece of it. When did this happen? Princess, you didn't realize there was an extra piece to your necklace? Congratulations, Princess Lucette. You're a step closer to breaking your curse. I feel proud. All right, I did a good thing. When did I do that? I don't remember. I've only ever felt this way around Mother. She did me a great favor yesterday. If not for Lucette, I might have suffocated beneath a pile of very excited women. Wait, helping Karma escape was the good deed? Yes, it was. She was selfless. He's not even mentioning the injury he got protecting me. Parfait and Delora are both smiling, but the cheerful mood does not last long. What were you all talking about before I came down? About your kidnapping. Well, kidnappings, both of them. It looks like we have a serious problem on our hands. What do you know about this? What does Waltz know that I don't? Princess, it's more about what everyone else knows that you don't. What everyone else knows? I feel anger begin to simmer inside of me. Even though he looks apologetic, he says it so casually. What are you all hiding from me? Let's gather everyone later, shall we? I think Waltz might want to be here for this too. What does Waltz have to do with any of it? He is tiny boy. Tiny, tiny boy. It's only because he's cursed. I know, but tiny. Be patient, Princess. You've already waited this long. What's another few hours? Point. I have no choice but to agree when Parfait and Delora refuse to say any more, but I'm not happy about it. I spend the rest of my time doing idle chores around the tavern. I do a round of sweeping with Mr. Broom and mindlessly organize some of the bottles. I cannot believe everyone knows something about me that I don't. But now, I'll find out the entire story. Maybe it will answer some of the questions I have. But why are they keeping things about me a secret to begin with? Delora gathers everyone in the tavern to discuss the kidnappings. I decide to sit between Waltz and Karma. So, we have a story to tell. Story time, huh? I don't suppose this would be a romance, would it? How can you stand to make comments like that constantly? How can you stand to live a lie? The two glare at each other across the table, but Delora silences them. No. Delora starts with a story about the Great War. One that I have already heard so many times I can recite it myself. What does any of this have to do with me? Because of the fairy tales, witches like myself were punished for simply existing. Our leader, the Tenebrum Bearer, was a kind witch that was overtaken by the grief that our people suffered. She was driven so far into madness that she created the Fairytale Curse to punish humans and make them suffer as the witches had. And when that wasn't enough, she committed the ultimate taboo. She killed a human. I tried to stop her, but by the time I thought to act, it was too late. Knowing that Delora and Parfait were involved in the Great War makes it seem more real. But wasn't the Tenenbaum killed? How can the Fairytale Curse continue to spread if she's dead? I believe that the Tenenbaum Bearer sacrificed the last bit of her life to continue powering the Tenenbaum, all to ensure that the remaining witches could continue spreading the Fairytale Curse. Is none of this ringing a bell for you? What are you talking about? She really did erase your memories. Erase? The witch who died, the Tenenbaum Bearer, was your mother, Princess Lucette. I knew it! I knew it! That witch! That actual literal witch! That bitch. Huh. Alright, no wonder. No freaking wonder. Huh. What? For some reason, I turned to look at Karma, who is one of the only people who doesn't look away from me. I grew up outside of this kingdom, but even I knew of the terrible witch, Hildur. You expect me to believe any of this? Mother was... She wasn't a witch. I would remember that. Well, you would if you had memories of the war, and the years before that. Under Hildur's rule, the palace was a dark place. Oh, I keep forgetting that people change speakers. The king didn't have any real power until Hildur was defeated. That goes for the rest of us, too. We were slaves to Hildur. Delora's eyes flickered a waltz. It's the truth. Waltz knows because he is also a witch. Oh, is it the red eyes? Is it the red eyes? Is that it? Is that why witches? I thought at the beginning he might be a witch. I wasn't sure. But confirmed, Waltz is also a witch. How did he get cursed? He experienced Hildur's command over the witches firsthand as well. And Lucettes like, what? What? Waltz is a witch? What? Sorry for keeping it a secret, Princess. It's not as if I can use much magic anymore anyway. Not when I'm cursed. This is just another secret of many. It seems everyone is hiding something. Everyone was freed after Hildur's reign, witches, fairies, and humans alike. The king was even able to marry Ophelia, the woman he always truly loved. So, it has always been Ophelia that he truly loved? Was that the reason I never felt any love from him? Because I was my mother's daughter? He gave up on me. No, dear, I don't think he gave up on me! My voice is too loud in the reception area. I feel it crack beneath the pressure and suddenly I want to cry. But Mother told me so many times not to cry. The king gave up on me. But Mother didn't. Mother would tell me this was all a lie. She would tell me not to trust anyone. They must be lying. I turned to Karma. For some reason, I trust him more than I trust Delora or Parfait. Is this the truth? I was told the story of Hilda and her daughter Lucette. They said you were the picture of elegance, but that you shared your mother's icy nature. But I don't think that's true at all. If Hilda was ice, then you most certainly are a warm fire. If my mother was a witch, then what does that make me? You are a witch as well, whether or not you were ever taught to use magic. On your upcoming birthday, you will become the Tenenbaum bearer. Do you realize how ridiculous this all sounds? Me? A witch? The king never said anything. And now I cannot even ask him if this is the truth because I'm cursed. Why would you even curse me? We didn't want a repeat of the tragedy, Lucette. I sat on your shelves for almost a year, Princess. There was ice in your heart, and if you had inherited the Tenenbaum in that state, who knows what would have happened? Then why didn't you just tell me any of this? Delora and Parfait look at each other before dropping their gazes to the ground. If we had told you before, would you have even bothered to listen? The king must have tried to do the same thing, and look how that turned out. You shut out everyone who ever tried to tell you about Hilda's true nature. That is probably true. That they're not wrong. Even now I'm having trouble believing they are telling me the truth. The whole world feels as if it's collapsing around me. I need to escape. I need to go out and be somewhere else, but why are the witches looking for me? You are the heir to the Tenenbaum. No doubt the evil witches want you on their side so they can continue wreaking havoc in Angielle with the Fairytale Curse. The men that were looking for Lucette were not witches, though. They were knights. Perhaps the witches and knights are working together? This must be part of Alcaster's scheme to steal the throne. Dun dun dun! What are you talking about? There's so much going on! The reason why Garland and I left the Order of Caldera was because the king did not believe us about Alcaster's coup. How would he know of the princess's identity, though? Anyone who isn't a witch, a fairy, or isn't cursed shouldn't be able to remember her. But now we know that it is not just the witches looking for the princess, but the Knights of the Order of Caldera as well. They definitely have a description of her from someone. Fritz, maybe? Accidentally? Lucette? Karma reaches out a hand to touch my shoulder, and I flinch back before standing up. I cannot speak about this now. I want to be alone. Let her go. She'll need a lot of time to think. I leave everyone sitting at the table as I try to process the whirling thoughts in my mind. Hilda, my mother, the only person I ever thought loved me, was the Tenenbaum bearer, a witch. The first witch to kill a human. The witch that started the Fairytale Curse. All this time, I thought Mother was the only one who cared, but what if she never did? I stay in my room for a long time, trying to process everything I've been told. She is a sad bean. She is a very sad bean. I mean, it hurts to realize that someone you loved really deeply never cared about you at all and has actually been emotionally manipulating you your entire life. I relate. So, like, yeah, legit reaction. Poor girl. Days go by before I decide to leave the tavern again to watch Karma practice with the knights. These last few days I felt hollow. Maybe seeing the normal practices will help me feel better. Maybe it'll make things feel like nothing's changed. When I arrive at the forest, however, only Karma is standing in the clearing. He's staring through the trees as if he sees something there, but his expression is solemn, almost sad. Eventually he sighs, shaking his head before turning in my direction. Lucette! I prepare myself for a response, but find that no words come to mind. I have not spoken to Karma since the talk about Mother and the witches, and any of the ease I felt with him before has slipped away. Still, I came here on my own, and I cannot just stand here being mute. I say the first thing that comes to mind. Where are Jurian and Garland? I'll only train with Garland. Jurian is on patrol duty tonight. He'll be here later. I just came early. It seems you did too. Lucette, are you okay? I'm sorry I haven't been by to see you. It's not as if you owe that to me. I don't owe it to you, but I truly wanted to. I've just been busy these last few days scouting the town for information. As much as I want you to come with me. Why would you have ever wanted to pair up with someone like me anyway? Oh. Why, Princess, that's because you're... I am bitter and cold, and even though I want to change, all I can think about is myself. But now, I want to change because I do not want to be the same as my mother. Isn't that selfish? Maybe so, but I believe you're being selfish for the right reasons. That's a thing. An entirely selfless person can't survive in this world. Before we can make others happy, we have to be happy ourselves. Happy. Ourselves? Yes. An angry person holds resentment towards everyone, and it mars whatever good deeds they seek to do. That is why I can't complete my good deeds. Wrong! You've already got one done. Recognizing the need for change is always a good thing, Lucette. Regardless of the motivation, you are trying to become a better person. That is what matters. He takes a step toward me, then puts his hands on my shoulders and leans down until I can look right into his eyes. Karma's serious expression startles me as much as his touch. It is never too late for anyone to change. You taught me that. Oh boy. That look. That look. What? How could I have taught Karma anything? Do you mind if I tell you a story, Lucette? He's standing too close. Let's not move. Let's not move. With his face so close, all I can do is stare right into his eyes. Karma's hands tighten on my shoulders, and for a few moments I feel a slight panic rising in my chest. Then Karma steps away from me with a rough shake of his head. Karma? Next time I do that, Lucette, feel free to push me away. What? It's better that way. What does he mean by that? Karma! You never answered. Will you listen to my story? All right. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a crown prince from a kingdom called Brugantia. Brugantia is one of the neighboring kingdoms. So this isn't make-believe? His name was Claude Idric Rinaldi Matthias Almont. But because the name was such a mouthful, he decided for an acronym, Karma, as a nickname, at least around the palace, where it was acceptable. Aha! Prince Claude was a man who flaunted his beauty and talents to all that he met. He often used his title to get what he wanted. Prince Claude was a selfish man who felt he was entitled to everything that he had. He was vain, and often left his castle unattended so that he could avoid his responsibilities. Then, one day, he chanced upon a beautiful maiden in the town square. He led her around the whole day, being as charming as he possibly could. And then, at the end of the day, he asked the woman to be his lover. She agreed, but their time together did not last long. Only weeks later, Prince Claude threw her away as one throws away an object, and broke the woman's heart. And she cursed him. That beautiful maiden was a witch, but Prince Claude found out too late. The witch said she would make his beauty, his vanity, a curse. To make even beauty a curse. Ashamed of being cursed, Prince Claude donned a disguise and left his kingdom behind. He's been gone for nearly a year now, and most probably assume he is dead. But in truth, the prince had come to Angielle, seeking a way to break his curse. He had heard of a young lady named Lucette who, on her 18th birthday, could dispel any curse. Really? Karma? He looks so sad. I don't know how to comfort him. Claude? Karma, Claude, turns a startling red as he stares at me, and for a few moments he does not speak. Then he busts out laughing, like he didn't realize that telling the story would let her know that your name is actually Claude. Like my dude. I stare at him in shock, and not understanding his reaction, I feel myself flush. Isn't that your real name? No, darling, it is, but hearing you say my name, well, it sounds so much softer out of your lips. I rather like it. My cheeks are warm again. How is it that he is always able to make me feel this way? I will call you by that name if it makes you so happy. Let's make it a secret between the two of us. I'm still Miss Karma here. Besides, I'd rather you kept that name from my ears only. It makes me feel more special that way. More special? At that moment, Garland shows up for practice, and Claude politely excuses himself. I watch the two of them trade blows. Claude favors his other hand, but his blows still come quickly, even with his injury. The more Claude tells me, the more I realize that he's like me, a noble cursed for being selfish. But how do I break his curse? And why can't he tell me? As practice is drawing to a close, Claude asks Garland the usual question. Have you confessed to Jurian yet? Garland only shakes his head in reply. The two men sheath their swords. Garland looks almost sad as he turns to make his way back to the tavern. He likes her, and yet he won't say anything. Why is that frustrating me so much? Garland? Yes, princess? I don't know what's the right choice. Oh well, I'll make that choice in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you then, so bye-bye!